280Z. Has some suspension work to do, so we thought we'd show you some of that. We're going to be putting McGann coilovers for an S13 onto our 280Z here. Show you the mods that's going to be required for that. Some of the other suspension stuff that we're going to be doing to it, maybe some bushings. So let's get to work. We'll get this thing over here on the lift and show you what we got done. All right. Since we're using an S13 coilover set on our S130 chassis, there's a few mods that you got to make to get them to work. The rear is nearly a bolt in. Basically, if you can come in here close, I'll show you. The stock strut has 3 bolts, and our S13 has just 2. So we basically just made a template out of some cardboard that matches our bolt pattern. Laid it up here where it lined up, drilled 2 holes, and bolted her up. And that's all there is to the bottom, or to the back. We'll show you what the bottom looks like installed once we get her up in the air. Alright, so we just wanted to show you what the rear looked like all installed. No mods down here, just basically just bolts into our factory spot. If you step back, we've got bushing sets for this that we'll be showing you later on, maybe in another episode, but this thing will be getting some love as we go along. So we'll get to work. We're starting our disassembly on the front. We've got our brake caliper zip tied safely out of our way, got our rotor out of the way here. So we got to disassemble pretty much everything because we're going to replace all the front bushings while we're here. All right, we just thought real quick we would show you the idea of what it takes to get these coilovers to work on our 280 over there. Basically, the S13 would use these mounts to mount its strut, but we're going to cut all this off. And if we measure the ID of this, we're at 1.96, and the OD of this is 2.009. So basically what we need to end up doing is we're going to mill out this intersection till it's the same ID inner diameter as the outside diameter of this. And we're going to take and just cut this off here and just get rid of all this factory stuff. This will slide on, we'll weld it, and then we'll have our coilover installed. It's a lot like an E30 installation. You have to cut the strut tube and slide this over it, but the difference being is the E30 don't have to do all the milling and such, but it's just an extra step added to the same kind of installation. Alright, so we've dissected our factory struts. We've de-bracketed our lower mounts here. Actually just cut them off, ground them smooth. What we're gonna end up with is this is gonna slide down over there, and we're gonna do our welding here. But we have to open up this like we told you a while ago. So we're gonna load all this up and head to where I work personally, and we've got a lathe there. We're gonna mill this out, and we'll show you what that is. All right, we just got back from the machine shop. We're gonna take in, we already got these, we actually left it a little bit of an interference fit. So we used the press to press these down on our stubs. Left a 1/4 inch gap around so I can fill that with bead. Got the paint all stripped back. Gonna lay our welds down. I'm only gonna do like 1/2 inch welds at a time. Kind of space them out so we don't warp this piece. I don't think it'll warp, but it's always a safe bet to weld slow. So let's lay down some bead and see what we can come up with. So we got our control arms out, and we showed you the spindles with the welded on bit. We put a coat of paint on everything, make it look nice. If you look here, we put our new poly bushings in our control arms. We ended up getting new ball joints too. Our old ones were kind of jank. So I'm going to throw this control arm and tie rod in, and then we'll move on to setting the coilovers in. These things can be a pain. It's basically just got sheet metal in here that a bolt goes through and tightens down and crushes them together. But with a little bit of manhandling, you can get it in there. We'll get that in a sec. Let's grab our tie rod. Make sure whenever you're doing your poly bushings, you always put the included grease in there or they're going to squeak and make noise and drive you nuts. That hang there for a sec.
Alright, so we're getting ready to mount the top of our shocks in. We've got these new adjustable coilovers, but they're camber adjustable, and the camber adjustments cannot be reached with this in the way. So we're going to cut it out and bolt these bad boys in.
Alright, so we got our McGanns installed on this side. Just wanted to give you a shot of that finished up. We're going to play around with ride height once we actually get the actual tires and wheels that are going to go on this. The cool thing about these McGanns is we have our preload adjustments right here, and this is our actual height adjustment, is this one here. So we can just loosen this and adjust it in and out of our lower collar to adjust ride height without having to play with preloads and all that jazz. We're going to finish up, throw our rotor back on, and we'll get onto this thing later on and show you some alignment and some other things that we're going to do with it. So that's going to close us out. I'm going to put a link on for our Facebook page. Send us pictures of your rides, man. We're into all kinds of stuff here. We want to see your projects. I've seen a lot of guys saying they're doing this V8 swap too, so I'd love to see y'all's progress. Send us some shots over there, and maybe we'll show them on some of our videos. We'll catch you next time.
Alright, so we're getting ready to mount the top of our shock in. Really? So we're getting ready to mount the top of our shocks in, but we've got to make room for this adjustable.